So, there we were, a bunch of thrill seekers, and one of us, Tom, had heard this urban legend about a hitchhiker who only showed up at the stroke of midnight. Of course, we didn't believe it, but you know how these things go. Curiosity gets the best of you. As the clock ticked closer to midnight, we decided to pull over to a deserted spot on the roadside. We figured we'd wait for a bit, just for kicks. Time seemed to crawl by, and the wind whispered through the trees, giving us all the creeps. Just when we were about to give up and call it a night, we heard it, the faintest sound of footsteps. Our hearts pounded like crazy as we turned to see this figure emerging from the darkness. A hitchhiker, just as the legend described, with a hoodie pulled low over their face. They extended a pale, bony hand, and without thinking, we rolled down the window. The hitchhiker didn't say a word, just climbed into the back seat, and the air inside the car turned icy cold. We asked where they were headed, but they didn't answer. Instead, they sat there in silence, like a shadow in the moonlight. As we drove, things got weirder. The hitchhiker's presence seemed to drain our energy, and the radio started playing this eerie, tuneless melody. Goosebumps covered our arms, and we exchanged nervous glances. But here's the kicker: when we finally reached the spot they requested, the hitchhiker got out without a word. We watched in stunned silence as they disappeared into the night. To this day, we can't explain it. It's like we picked up a ghostly hitchhiker straight out of some midnight legend. Whether it was real or just our overactive imaginations, that night on the lonely highway remains one of the creepiest experiences of my life. And let me tell you, we never go looking for midnight hitchhikers anymore. After that spine-tingling encounter with the midnight hitchhiker, we were all in a state of shock. Our nerves were shot, and the car's atmosphere had shifted from excitement to pure dread. We didn't waste any time hightailing it out of there, our tires screeching on the pavement as we left that eerie spot far behind. But here's where it gets even weirder. As we drove away, we couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. It was like the hitchhiker's presence had left an indelible mark on us. The air inside the car remained frigid, and the radio continued to play that haunting melody no matter how many times we tried to change the station. And then, things took a turn for the truly bizarre. We started seeing strange, shadowy figures on the side of the road just beyond the reach of our headlights. They would dart in and out of the darkness, like specters playing tricks on our minds. We even heard faint whispers, as if they were trying to communicate with us. Fear gnawed at us, and our once jovial road trip had transformed into a nightmare. We knew we had to get rid of whatever had attached itself to us that night. So, we decided to pull over at a nearby gas station and perform a makeshift cleansing ritual, salt, incense, and a hastily Googled chant. As we chanted and smudged the car with incense smoke, the atmosphere began to shift. The temperature gradually returned to normal, and the eerie melody on the radio faded into static. We sat there, hearts pounding, but slowly regaining our composure. With the cleansing complete, we hit the road again, and the shadowy figures and whispers were gone. It was like we had shaken off an otherworldly hitchhiker's curse. From that day forward, we swore off midnight roadside adventures, and that chilling night became a cautionary tale we'd share around campfires. So, there you have it, folks, the tale of the midnight hitchhiker that turned our road trip into a spine-chilling odyssey. And remember, if you ever find yourself on a desolate highway in the dead of night, and you hear those faint footsteps approaching, think twice before rolling down your window. You might just be inviting a midnight terror you'll never forget. Now, every time we hit the road for another adventure, we couldn't help but glance nervously at the clock when it neared midnight. The memory of that night haunted us like a ghostly echo in the back of our minds. As the years passed, we became seasoned travelers, swapping stories around campfires and comparing them to that fateful night. Some of us swore they had encountered other supernatural phenomena on different trips, but nothing quite matched the sheer, bone-chilling intensity of the midnight hitchhiker. We even tried to research the legend, hoping to find some closure or explanation for what had happened. But the more we delved into it, the more mysterious it became. The hitchhiker remained an enigma, a figure straight out of the darkest folklore. And so, our encounter with the midnight hitchhiker became a cautionary tale not just for us, but for anyone willing to listen. We learned the hard way that sometimes curiosity can lead to the most unexpected and terrifying experiences. So, my friends, next time you find yourselves on a late-night road trip, be mindful of the hour and the stories you've heard. The world is full of mysteries, and some of them are best left unexplored, hidden in the shadows of midnight. After all, you never know what might be waiting just around the next dark bend in the road. Story 2. In the annals of my recollection, there exists a tale that beckons the mind to realms of eerie wonderment, an account of a haunting experience that unfolded in the hushed embrace of a woodland enclave. The whisperings of the grove, as they have come to be known, continue to reverberate through my memory, a testament to the inexplicable mysteries of our world. It was a tranquil autumn afternoon when my curiosity, as voracious as ever, led me to traverse a path less trodden. The Whispering Grove, ensconced in the heart of an ancient forest, had long intrigued me with its storied past. Legends whispered of spectral apparitions, disembodied voices, and the unsettling sensation of being watched by unseen eyes amidst its gnarled trees. Accompanied by a few adventurous souls equally enthralled by the prospect of uncovering the grove's secrets, we embarked on this expedition. The forest, initially welcoming in its dappled sunlight and rustling leaves, soon transformed as we ventured deeper. An eerie silence settled, as if the very woods held its breath in anticipation of our intrusion. As the sun began its descent beyond the horizon, painting the sky in hues of crimson and indigo, we arrived at the heart of the grove. A shiver ran down my spine as I gazed upon the twisted, gnarled trees that seemed to contort into grotesque figures. The very air felt charged with an unsettling energy, thick with the weight of centuries of whispered secrets. It was then that we first heard it, the faintest of whispers. At first, we dismissed it as a trick of the wind, but as the whispers grew in intensity and coherence, we could no longer deny their existence. The words, if they could be called such, were indecipherable, a cryptic language of the beyond. Intrigued and somewhat unnerved, we ventured further, drawn deeper into the heart of the grove. It was as though the trees themselves were trying to communicate with us, their rustling leaves forming an otherworldly symphony. The words, while unintelligible, seemed laden with urgency, as if the grove held a long-kept secret it yearned to divulge. As the night descended and an eerie mist rolled in, we made a remarkable discovery. Hidden amidst the gnarled roots of an ancient oak tree lay a centuries-old diary. Its brittle pages, withered by time and elements, contained the writings of a tormented soul who had sought refuge in the grove. Tales of lost love, regret, and a promise unfulfilled filled its pages. As we read the diary's contents aloud, the whispers grew louder, resonating with a haunting sorrow that sent shivers down our spines. It was as if the grove itself mourned the tragic tale within the diary, its secrets echoing through the ages. With heavy hearts, we departed the Whispering Grove, leaving behind the diary and its mournful echoes. The experience had left an indelible mark on our souls, a reminder that the natural world holds mysteries beyond our comprehension. To this day, the Whispering Grove remains an enigma, a testament to the inexplicable forces that dwell in the heart of the wilderness. Its secrets continue to beckon, offering glimpses into a world beyond our understanding, where the wind, the trees, and the very earth itself seem to whisper their timeless truths to those willing to listen. In the years that followed our encounter with the Whispering Grove, its enigmatic secrets continue to haunt our thoughts and dreams. The ancient forest, with its gnarled trees and spectral whispers, had become an indelible part of our collective consciousness, a riddle waiting to be unraveled. Our quest to uncover the truth behind the grove led us down a labyrinthine path of research and investigation. We consulted local historians, delved into archives, and scoured dusty tomes for any mention of the Whispering Woods. The lore surrounding it was as vast as it was cryptic, with tales of lost souls and wandering spirits that dated back centuries. One chilling account, found in the annals of an 18th century diary, spoke of a lost traveler who had stumbled upon the grove and was never seen again. The diary's author, a mystic of his time, had warned of the grove's ability to ensnare the souls of those who dared to venture too deep. Determined to unlock the grove's secrets, we made several return visits, each time bringing new equipment and a cadre of experts in various fields: paranormal investigators, botanists, geologists, and linguists. We sought to decipher the whispers, understand the grove's unique flora and fauna, and decode the cryptic language that seemed to emanate from its depths. Yet, despite our best efforts, the grove remained as enigmatic as ever. The whispers, while clearer in their intent, defied translation. The flora and fauna within the grove, though unique, remained a biological anomaly that eluded scientific explanation. It was as though the grove itself resisted our attempts to dissect its mysteries. As we delved deeper into our research, we began to uncover a pattern, a recurring theme in the accounts of those who had encountered the Whispering Grove. Many spoke of a profound sense of introspection, as if the grove forced them to confront their deepest fears and regrets. Some believed it to be a place of reckoning, a mirror reflecting the darkest corners of the human soul. The grove had become a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that even in our age of scientific advancement, there were realms of existence that defied explanation. It was a testament to the enduring power of nature, of ancient forests that held secrets beyond the grasp of modern understanding. In the end, we left the Whispering Grove with more questions than answers, but our fascination with its mysteries remained undiminished. It served as a poignant reminder that in our quest for knowledge and understanding, there would always be corners of the world that defied explanation, where the whispers of the past continued to echo through time. And so, the Whispering Grove, with its spectral whispers and hidden secrets, stood as a testament to the enduring allure of the unexplained, a place where the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural blurred, and where the human spirit was tested in the face of the unknown. Story 3. In the annals of my life's experiences, there exists a singular occurrence, an event that has etched itself indelibly upon the tapestry of my memory, a tale that unfolds in the shadowy realm where the mundane and the supernatural converge. It is the story of the haunting melody, a symphony that transcended the boundaries of the ordinary, beckoning forth forces beyond mortal comprehension. It was during a sojourn to a quaint, remote village nestled amidst rolling hills and ancient forests that this eerie narrative unfurled. My companions and I, seekers of adventure and aficionados of the unknown, had been drawn to this hamlet by tales whispered around crackling fires and traded in hushed tones. The village, shrouded in mist and steeped in time-honored folklore, exuded an air of mysticism that clung to every cobblestone and thatched roof. Yet, It was the legend of the haunting melody that captured our collective imagination, a spectral tune said to be a siren's call, an auditory serenade that drew the curious to an otherworldly realm. On a moonlit eve, as a symphony of stars adorned the inky canvas of the heavens, we gathered in the village square. A solitary musician, an old bard with gnarled fingers and a haunted countenance, stood at the center. His instrument, a weathered violin, seemed to possess a history of its own, a vessel for the ethereal strains that were about to envelop our senses. As the first notes emanated from the violin's strings, the world around us transformed. The very air seemed to quiver with resonance, and the boundaries between reality and the supernatural began to blur. The haunting melody that poured forth was unlike anything I had ever heard, an intricate tapestry of sorrow and longing, joy and despair, woven together by the hands of spectral maestros. We, the captivated audience, were transported to a realm beyond the mortal coil, a place where shadows danced with abandon and phantoms materialized to partake in the haunting serenade. The spirits of the departed seemed to emerge from the veil that separated our world from the next, drawn by the irresistible allure of the music. As the melody continued its enchantment, we found ourselves in a liminal space, where the living and the dead coexisted in a spectral waltz. The bard's eyes, glazed with an otherworldly gleam, seemed to communicate with the very souls of those who had long departed this earthly realm. It was as though the music itself had become a conduit for communion with the supernatural. Hours passed, or perhaps mere moments, I cannot say. But when the final strains of the haunting melody faded into the night, we were left in a state of both awe and trepidation. The spirits, having sated their ethereal hunger, retreated into the shadows, leaving us with a sense of profound wonder and disquiet. In the days that followed, we sought answers to the mysteries that had unfolded before us. The old bard, upon regaining his composure, could offer no explanation for the unearthly music he had performed. It was a gift, he claimed, passed down through generations, a legacy of his forebears. The haunting melody, we discovered, was a ritual of communion, a bridge between our world and the realm of the supernatural. It was a testament to the power of music, an art form that transcends the boundaries of the tangible and ushers us into the realm of the ineffable. To this day, the haunting melody remains a haunting enigma, a testament to the enduring connection between music and the supernatural, a reminder that there are forces beyond our comprehension that continue to beckon us with their ethereal allure. It is a story that lingers in my memory, a melody that continues to haunt my dreams, and a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. In the wake of our encounter with the haunting melody, my companions and I were left in a state of profound introspection. We couldn't shake the feeling that we had glimpsed into a dimension beyond the mundane, a realm where the boundaries between the living and the spectral blurred like watercolors on canvas. Our fascination with the supernatural grew, and we resolved to uncover the origins of the haunting melody, to delve deeper into the mysteries that had ensnared our senses that fateful evening. We returned to the remote village, determined to unearth the bard's ancestral legacy and the source of the spectral music. The old bard, who had guided us into the ethereal realm with his haunting composition, agreed to share the story of his lineage. He revealed that his family had resided in the village for generations, serving as keepers of the ancient traditions. The haunting melody, he explained, was a sacred rite passed down through the ages, a gift from ancestors who had made contact with the spirit world. As the bard spoke, it became clear that the haunting melody was not a mere performance, but a conduit for communication with the supernatural. It was a means for the living to connect with their departed loved ones, a bridge to a realm where time held no sway and the spirits could briefly reunite with those they had left behind. Intrigued by the bard's revelations, We embarked on a journey to delve deeper into the village's history and the mystical practices that had been preserved through generations. We pored over ancient manuscripts, consulted local historians, and sought the guidance of wise elders who still held the knowledge of the old ways. Our research unveiled a rich tapestry of folklore and tradition, each thread interwoven with the supernatural. We discovered that the haunting melody had been a part of the village's cultural fabric for centuries, an integral component of rituals that celebrated the cycles of life and death. Our quest also led us to encounter other manifestations of the supernatural, the village's sacred groves where nature's spirits were said to dwell, the eerie standing stones that marked ancient burial grounds, and the ethereal voices that could be heard in the stillness of the night. As our understanding of the village's mystical heritage deepened, we realized that the haunting melody was but one facet of a complex web of supernatural phenomena. It was a reminder that the boundary between the known and the unknown is not fixed but fluid, a testament to the enduring power of human belief and the mysteries that continue to elude our grasp. In the end, our journey to uncover the origins of the haunting melody left us with more questions than answers. It was a testament to the inexhaustible wellspring of the supernatural, a realm where the enigmatic and the ethereal coexisted in a delicate dance. To this day, the haunting melody remains a haunting refrain in my thoughts, a reminder that there are mysteries in this world that defy explanation, and that the supernatural, like the haunting music that beckons it, continues to weave its spell upon the curious and the daring. It is a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown, a siren's call that draws us ever closer to the realm of the ethereal, where the living and the dead meet in spectral communion. Story 4. Set against the backdrop of a rugged coastline, where the ceaseless roar of the ocean meets the stoic silhouette of an ancient lighthouse, this tale was a haunting narrative of a solitary keeper and the spectral enigma that shrouded his existence. On a blustery evening, as twilight surrendered to the encroaching darkness, I found myself drawn to the lighthouse, a sentinel of a bygone era. Its weathered bricks bore witness to countless storms and sea-bound tragedies, and its beacon had guided countless ships through treacherous waters. I had heard whispers of the lighthouse keeper, a reclusive figure who had dwelt within the tower's shadowy recesses for decades. Rumors painted him as a man of eccentric habits, one who shunned the company of the village below and spoke in hushed tones of the ghosts that inhabited the lighthouse. Undeterred by the foreboding tales that had permeated the coastal community, I embarked on a journey to uncover the truth. I ascended the spiraling staircase, each creaking step echoing with the weight of history, and found myself in the keeper's chambers. There, amidst a clutter of faded nautical charts and time-worn logbooks, I encountered the keeper, a figure cloaked in shadow, his eyes bearing the weight of a lifetime's solitude. He shared tales of restless spirits that had haunted the lighthouse for generations, ethereal apparitions that whispered forgotten secrets in the dead of night. As the keeper's story unfolded, I became acutely aware of a pervasive chill that seemed to emanate from the very stones of the lighthouse. Shadows danced along the walls, and a spectral presence brushed against my senses like a phantom breeze. The keeper spoke of a maritime tragedy, a shipwreck lost to history, and the souls of its ill-fated crew who had found an eternal refuge within the lighthouse's walls. Their voices, he claimed, could still be heard on stormy nights, a mournful chorus of lost souls forever bound to the coastal tower. Intrigued and undaunted by the spectral presence that hung in the air, I spent the night within the lighthouse, determined to witness the enigma firsthand. As darkness descended and the storm raged outside, I listened intently to the mournful whispers that permeated the tower. Suddenly, the room was ablaze with an otherworldly light, a luminous apparition that took shape before my eyes. The ghosts of the lost sailors materialized, their translucent figures swaying in a melancholic dance. Their spectral voices, laden with sorrow and longing, filled the chamber. It was as if the lighthouse itself had become a portal to the past, a conduit through which the voices of the departed could finally find release. In that ethereal moment, I understood the keeper's solitary existence and his dedication to the preservation of the lighthouse. He had become a custodian of the lost souls, a sentinel of the spectral realm. As dawn broke and the spectral apparitions faded into the first light of day, I descended the lighthouse, forever changed by the encounter. The keeper's secret had become my own, a testament to the enduring presence of the supernatural in the most unlikely of places. To this day, the coastal lighthouse stands as a testament to the spectral enigma that shrouded its history, a place where the living and the dead coexist in a delicate dance, a reminder that the past continues to echo through the corridors of time, and that the spirits of the departed can find solace even in the most desolate of places. The encounter with the lighthouse's spectral inhabitants left an indelible mark on my soul. It was a testament to the enduring connection between the living and the spectral, a revelation that the boundaries between our world and the afterlife were not as rigid as we might imagine. In the days that followed, I sought to understand the history of the maritime tragedy that had bound the souls of the lost sailors to the lighthouse. Local archives and maritime records unveiled a grim tale of a shipwreck that had occurred decades ago during a brutal storm. The vessel had foundered on treacherous rocks, its crew lost to the relentless fury of the sea. It was a tragedy that had haunted the coastal village for generations, a story of lives cut short and souls adrift in the eternal limbo of the afterlife. The lighthouse, a symbol of salvation and hope for countless sailors, had become a beacon for more than just guiding ships to safety. It had become a sanctuary for the lost souls who yearned for release. As the keeper's story had hinted, the spectral presence within the lighthouse was not malevolent but mournful, a reflection of the lingering sorrow and unfulfilled destinies of those who had met an untimely end. The keeper's role, it seemed, was that of a guardian, a keeper of the spectral flame, ensuring that the lost souls found a semblance of solace within the tower's embrace. My fascination with the supernatural deepened as I continued to study the lighthouse's history. I realized that the keeper's existence was a solitary one, a life dedicated to the preservation of the spectral connection that bound the living and the dead. He had willingly embraced the role of a spectral custodian, a bridge between two worlds, sacrificing his own solitude for the sake of those who had met a tragic end. In the years that followed, the coastal village continued to share tales of the haunted lighthouse, and visitors from far and wide came to witness this spectral phenomenon for themselves. The keeper, now a figure of both reverence and curiosity, welcomed those who sought to connect with the otherworldly and shared the stories of the lost souls who had found their eternal resting place within the tower's walls. The lighthouse remained a beacon not only for ships navigating treacherous waters, but also for those who saw a glimpse into the mysteries of the supernatural. It stood as a testament to the enduring power of the spectral realm, a place where the living and the dead could coexist in a delicate equilibrium, and where the past continued to whisper its secrets to those willing to listen. To this day, the coastal lighthouse stands as a poignant reminder of the spectral enigma that shrouded its history, a place where the boundaries between our world and the afterlife blur, and where the keeper's dedication serves as a testament to the enduring connection between the living and the dead. Story 5. So, you ever hear those stories about creepy carnivals that pop up in the middle of nowhere, and you wonder if they're true? Well, let me tell you about the time my buddies and I stumbled upon one, and it was like something straight out of a horror movie. It all started on a dark and stormy night, as cliche as it sounds. We were driving through this sleepy little town, and the rain was coming down in buckets. Lightning flashed, and in the brief illumination, we saw it, an old, weather-beaten sign that read Luna's Carnival, fun for all ages. Seemed like a quaint, nostalgic spot, right? We decided to check it out, thinking it would be a good way to kill some time. But as we got closer, things started feeling off. The carnival was in this abandoned field, and the rides looked like they hadn't been touched in decades. Rust and decay everywhere. We parked the car and approached the entrance, which was this creepy, creaky turnstile. The place was deserted, no ticket booth, no people, just us and the eerie silence of the night. It was like the whole world had disappeared, and we were the only ones left. As we wandered deeper into the carnival, the unease grew. The carnival games had these weird prizes, like ancient-looking dolls with missing eyes and rusty knives. The stalls were covered in faded, peeling paint that looked like it hadn't seen a fresh coat in a century. And the posters for the attractions, let's just say they were more nightmarish than enticing. Then we stumbled upon the freak show tent, and that's when things got seriously freaky. Inside, there were these life-sized, lifelike mannequins, each one more grotesque than the last. It was like a twisted art exhibit, but it felt way too real. One of my friends swore he saw one of them blink. That's when we decided it was time to get the heck out of there. But as we turned to leave, we realized the exit had vanished. It was like the carnival had swallowed us whole, and there was no way out. We panicked, trying to retrace our steps, but the place was a maze of bizarre attractions that seemed to shift and change around us. It was as if the carnival itself was alive, toying with us like some malevolent entity. Hours turned into an eternity as we desperately tried to find an escape. And just when we thought we were doomed to wander the nightmarish carnival forever, we stumbled upon a dilapidated carousel. It creaked and groaned, but it seemed like our only way out. We hopped on, and as the carousel spun, we felt the carnival's grip on us loosen. It was like we were being sucked back through time and space. The world outside slowly materialized, and before we knew it, we were back in our car, parked by the side of the road. We peeled out of there as fast as we could, not looking back. The rain had stopped, the night was quiet, and the Luna's Carnival sign had vanished. It was like the whole thing had never happened. To this day, we're not sure if we stumbled into some kind of twisted dimension or if Luna's Carnival was a ghostly remnant of the past. All I know is, I won't be going near any creepy, abandoned carnivals anytime soon. Sometimes, it's better to leave the mysteries of the night well enough alone. After that nightmarish encounter at Luna's Carnival, my buddies and I couldn't shake the feeling that we had glimpsed something beyond the realm of the ordinary. It haunted our thoughts and fueled countless late-night discussions as we tried to make sense of the inexplicable. We scoured the internet, searching for any trace of Luna's Carnival, but it was as if the place had never existed. No records, no history, not a single mention of it anywhere. It was like we had stumbled upon a carnival lost in time, an anomaly that defied explanation. The experience left us changed, too. We began to notice subtle shifts in our surroundings, as if the boundaries between reality and the supernatural had blurred. Strange occurrences plagued us, flickering lights, unexplained shadows, and the occasional sound of eerie laughter echoing in empty rooms. We became amateur paranormal investigators, armed with cameras and voice recorders, trying to capture evidence of the unexplained. And while we did capture some bizarre phenomena, it only deepened the mystery, leaving us with more questions than answers. Then, one evening, we received a cryptic message, an anonymous email with a single sentence, Luna's Carnival awaits your return." It sent shivers down our spines, and we couldn't help but wonder if the carnival still existed, hidden in some otherworldly dimension, waiting for us to return. But we weren't about to take that bait. We had escaped once, and we had no intention of venturing back into that nightmarish realm. We locked away our findings, stashed our cameras in a corner, and tried to put Luna's Carnival behind us. However, the paranormal activity didn't stop. If anything, it intensified. We couldn't escape the feeling that Luna's Carnival had left a lingering mark on us, as if it had attached itself to our very souls. Desperate for answers, we reached out to experts in the field of the supernatural. Psychics, mediums, and even a few exorcists visited our homes, trying to unravel the mysteries that had infiltrated our lives. Some claimed to sense a malevolent presence, while others believed we had unwittingly crossed over into a dimension of pure chaos. In the end, the experts were as baffled as we were. Luna's Carnival had left an indelible scar on our lives, a reminder that there are mysteries in this world that defy explanation, and that sometimes curiosity can lead you to places you never should have ventured. To this day, my buddies and I remain haunted by the memory of that nightmarish carnival. We've learned to live with the inexplicable phenomena that continue to plague us, a constant reminder that Luna's Carnival may have released us physically, but it still holds a sinister grip on our minds. So, if you ever find yourself on a rainy night, driving through a desolate town and stumble upon a seemingly abandoned carnival, my advice is simple: keep driving, don't look back, and pray you never have to learn the horrors that lie within the twilight realm of Luna's Carnival. Story 6. Picture this: it was a bright and sunny day, the kind that lures you outside with promises of adventure. My friends and I were on a camping trip deep in the wilderness, far away from the hustle and bustle of city life. We had packed our bags with all the camping essentials, including a trusty camera to capture the memories. Everything was going great until we stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cabin hidden among the trees. The place looked like it had been abandoned for centuries, with moss-covered walls and broken windows. Naturally, our curiosity got the better of us, and we decided to explore. As we stepped inside, a shiver ran down my spine. The air was thick with an oppressive silence, and the walls seemed to close in on us. Dusty old furniture lay scattered around, covered in cobwebs. But what caught our attention was a peculiar old camera resting on a rickety table in the corner. The camera had an eerie aura about it, as if it had witnessed unspeakable things. Its lens seemed to beckon to us, and before we knew it, we were taking pictures of the decrepit cabin, hoping to capture its ghostly history. Little did we know, that camera was cursed. As we continued our journey through the wilderness, we couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. Strange things started happening. Our campfire would suddenly blaze up, as if possessed by some unseen force. Mysterious figures seemed to lurk at the edges of our campsite, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. Then, the photos we had taken with the cursed camera started to develop. Each picture was a haunting snapshot of the cabin, but there was something more, a shadowy figure lurking in the background, its features twisted into a malevolent grin. We tried to rationalize it, blaming it on our overactive imaginations or the eerie atmosphere of the cabin. But deep down, we knew something was terribly wrong. As the days passed, the ominous occurrences escalated. We heard disembodied whispers in the dead of night, and our dreams were plagued by visions of that shadowy figure. Our once carefree camping trip had turned into a nightmare. Desperate to break the curse, we decided to return to the cabin and confront whatever malevolent force we had awakened. Armed with sage and protective charms, we ventured back to the forsaken place. But when we arrived, the cabin was gone. In its place stood an empty clearing, as if it had never existed. The cursed camera had vanished with it, leaving us with a chilling realization we had unknowingly released an ancient and vengeful spirit, and it was now free to haunt us wherever we went. To this day, I can't help but wonder if that cursed camera still roams the wilderness, capturing the souls of unsuspecting adventurers and binding them to its malevolent curse. And if you ever stumble upon an abandoned cabin in the woods with an old camera sitting on a table, my advice is simple: resist the temptation, leave it be, and pray that you don't become its next victim. The events that transpired during that ill-fated camping trip left a mark on us that no amount of time could erase. We couldn't escape the feeling that the cursed camera, with its sinister snapshots and malevolent spirit, had woven itself into the very fabric of our lives. As we returned to our normal routines, the supernatural occurrences followed us like a shadow, a constant reminder that the curse was not bound by time or distance. Our dreams continued to be haunted by the twisted, grinning figure that had appeared in the photographs, its presence lurking at the edge of our consciousness. We sought the counsel of experts in the paranormal, hoping for a solution to our plight. Psychics, spiritualists, and even renowned ghost hunters examined the cursed photographs and the story of the cabin. Their conclusions varied, but one thing was clear: the malevolent spirit we had encountered was ancient and powerful. One psychic suggested that the cursed camera had served as a vessel, a portal through which the vengeful spirit had been unleashed. Another believed that the spirit had been bound to the cabin for centuries and that our intrusion had set it free to exact its revenge. We embarked on a journey to learn more about the history of the cabin and the cursed camera. Local archives and historical records unveiled a chilling tale, a story of a reclusive photographer who had once inhabited the cabin, capturing the souls of unsuspecting visitors and binding them to his cursed photographs. The photographer had been obsessed with the idea of immortality, believing that by trapping the souls of his subjects in his photographs, he could ensure their eternal presence. But his obsession had led him down a dark and twisted path, and his malevolent actions had drawn the attention of supernatural forces. It was said that the photographer's soul had become intertwined with the cursed camera, and that his thirst for immortality had transformed him into the very entity that had haunted our dreams and plagued our lives. Determined to break the curse, we embarked on a perilous mission to confront the malevolent spirit. Armed with the knowledge we had gathered and guided by the psychic who had first examined the cursed camera, we returned to the site where the cabin had once stood. But the clearing remained empty, and the cabin was nowhere to be found. It was as if the cursed spirit had retreated into the shadows, its presence no longer bound to a physical location. In the end, we were left with a chilling realization: the cursed camera and the malevolent spirit it harbored were still out there, roaming the world and binding unsuspecting souls to its dark curse. We had no choice but to accept that some mysteries were beyond our comprehension, and some curses were destined to endure. To this day, we remain haunted by the events of that camping trip, a constant reminder that the supernatural can encroach upon our lives when we least expect it. And if you ever come across an old camera with an ominous aura, my advice is simple: don't let curiosity be your downfall, for some curses are best left unbroken, and some malevolent spirits are best left undisturbed in the depths of the unknown. Story 7. It all began on a sweltering summer day when my friends and I decided to explore an old, abandoned mansion that had long been the subject of local legends. The mansion, known as the Havisham Estate, had been vacant for decades, its imposing facade hidden beneath layers of ivy and decay. As we entered the mansion through a broken-down gate, the air grew still, and a sense of foreboding washed over us. We were armed with flashlights, curiosity, and perhaps a touch of recklessness. After all, the rumors surrounding the Havisham estate spoke of hidden treasures, secret passages, and a history steeped in mystery. The interior of the mansion was a labyrinth of forgotten rooms, grand halls with dusty chandeliers, and decaying remnants of opulent furniture. Each step echoed with the weight of time, and it felt as though the very walls held the secrets of generations. As we ventured deeper into the mansion, we stumbled upon a room that sent shivers down our spines. It was unlike any other room we had encountered, a chamber shrouded in darkness, with a towering mirror that seemed out of place amid the mansion's decay. The mirror's frame was adorned with intricate carvings, and its glass appeared to be untouched by time. It drew us in like a moth to a flame, and one by one, we approached it, our reflections staring back at us with an eerie intensity. But as we gazed into the mirror, we realized that our reflections were not the only ones present. Behind us, in the dimly lit room, there was a flicker of movement, a shadowy figure that seemed to emerge from the depths of the mirror itself. Panic washed over us as we turned to confront the figure, but it vanished as quickly as it had appeared. The room, which had been dimly lit moments ago, was now bathed in an otherworldly glow, and the mirror seemed to ripple with an unnatural energy. Fear gnawed at our hearts, but curiosity kept us rooted in place. One by one, we cautiously reached out toward the mirror, and as our hands made contact with the glass, a sensation washed over us, an icy chill that seemed to penetrate our very souls. Suddenly, we were no longer in the mansion. Instead, we found ourselves in a realm that defied description, a place of shifting landscapes, surreal colors, and a sense of disorientation that threatened to overwhelm us. It was as though we had stumbled upon a hidden portal to the other world. We realized with dread that the mirror was the gateway, and there was no turning back. We were trapped in a realm beyond our understanding, a place where the laws of reality were distorted and the boundaries of time and space seemed to blur. Our attempts to return through the mirror proved futile. It was as though the gateway had sealed itself behind us, leaving us stranded in this strange and surreal dimension. We had unwittingly crossed into the unknown, and the mansion, along with the world we knew, had become a distant memory. As we ventured deeper into this surreal realm, we encountered bizarre creatures, shifting landscapes, and enigmatic symbols etched into the very fabric of existence. It was a place where our deepest fears and desires seemed to materialize, a reflection of our innermost thoughts and emotions. Days turned into weeks, and our hope of ever returning home dwindled. We had become prisoners of the hidden portal, lost in a world that defied all logic and reason. It was a place where the line between reality and the supernatural had been irrevocably blurred, and our only hope lay in unraveling the mysteries of this enigmatic realm. To this day, we remain trapped in the other world, searching for a way to unlock the secrets of the hidden portal and find our way back to the world we once knew. The Havisham estate, with its abandoned grandeur, serves as a haunting reminder of the fateful day when we crossed the threshold into the unknown, and the mirror became a gateway to a world beyond imagination. As we wandered deeper into the mysterious realm beyond the mirror, our sense of time became distorted. Days turned into nights, and nights into days, as the sun and moon danced in the sky in strange patterns we couldn't comprehend. It was as if we had entered a pocket of existence where the laws of nature held no sway. Our small group of friends stuck together, finding solace in our shared fear and uncertainty. Each day brought new challenges, and we encountered bizarre creatures that seemed to materialize from the depths of our own subconscious. These beings were a reflection of our innermost fears and desires, and they served as both tormentors and guides in this strange land. The landscapes we traversed were equally surreal. We found ourselves in forests of towering, luminescent mushrooms, deserts where time itself seemed to flow backward, and endless plains where the horizon stretched infinitely in all directions. It was a world of constant transformation, where the very ground beneath our feet shifted like quicksand. One particularly harrowing encounter involved a labyrinthine city of mirrors, where each reflection held a distorted version of ourselves. The inhabitants of this city were spectral beings, forever trapped within their own reflections, doomed to wander the maze of mirrors for all eternity. It was a chilling reminder of the fate that might await us if we couldn't find a way out. Our determination to unravel the mysteries of this otherworldly realm grew stronger with each passing day. We began to notice symbols etched into the landscape and the architecture of this surreal place, ancient glyphs that seemed to hold the key to our escape. We meticulously documented these symbols, hoping that they held the answers we sought. One fateful day, as we ventured deeper into a labyrinthine forest of thorns and brambles, we stumbled upon a colossal mirror, unlike any we had seen before. It radiated a powerful energy, and its surface pulsed with an eerie glow. It was clear that this mirror was the source of the hidden portal that had brought us here. As we approached the mirror, we noticed a series of symbols etched into its frame, symbols that mirrored those we had encountered throughout our journey. It became apparent that these symbols were the key to unlocking the portal's magic. With trembling hands, we began to trace the symbols on the mirror's frame, combining them in a sequence we had deduced from our earlier discoveries. As we completed the intricate pattern, the mirror's glow intensified, and the air around us crackled with energy. Suddenly, the mirror's surface rippled like a pond disturbed by a stone, and a blinding light enveloped us. We were transported through a vortex of swirling colors and sensations, a chaotic whirlwind that seemed to stretch on for an eternity. When the maelstrom finally subsided, we found ourselves standing before the mansion, the Havisham estate, exactly where we had started. The mansion's facade was no longer hidden beneath layers of ivy and decay. It stood pristine and imposing in the summer sun. We had returned, but we were forever changed by our journey through the hidden portal. The mysteries of the mirror and the otherworldly realm remained with us, etched into our memories and eternally bound to our souls. To this day, the Havisham estate stands as a testament to the enigma of the hidden portal, a place where the line between reality and the supernatural had been crossed and redefined. The mirror, now sealed and dormant, serves as a haunting reminder of the day when we dared to step through the looking glass and into a world beyond imagination. Story 8. Once upon a time, in a remote corner of the world, there lay an ancient forest shrouded in mystery and known as the Whispering Woods. It was a place where the trees seemed to lean in closer, where the shadows danced with a life of their own, and where the very air was heavy with secrets. I had heard the whispers of the unknown, tales of the forest's enchantment, and the allure of its mysteries had drawn me in like a moth to a flame. Armed with nothing but my curiosity and a backpack filled with essentials, I embarked on a journey to explore the Whispering Woods. As I ventured deeper into the forest, a hushed silence settled around me, broken only by the occasional rustling of leaves and the distant call of unseen creatures. The trees, gnarled and ancient, stood like sentinels guarding the secrets hidden within their leafy depths. The deeper I ventured, the more I felt the forest's presence, a living, breathing entity with a consciousness of its own. It was as if the very ground I walked upon was aware of my presence, guiding me deeper into its heart. I soon encountered peculiar phenomena that defied explanation. Strange lights flickered among the branches, their glow casting an otherworldly aura over the forest. The air itself seemed to shimmer with an ethereal energy, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched by unseen eyes. As I continued my journey, I came across a series of ancient stone markers adorned with cryptic symbols. These markers, weathered by time, seemed to indicate the presence of a hidden path, an invitation to delve even deeper into the forest's enigmatic core. With each step, the atmosphere grew more oppressive, and the forest's enchantment intensified. It was as if the very essence of the Whispering Woods was seeping into my soul, awakening dormant senses and heightening my awareness of the supernatural. As night descended, I made camp beneath the canopy of ancient trees, surrounded by the eerie symphony of nocturnal creatures. It was then that I heard it, the whispers of the unknown, faint and ethereal, like distant voices carried on the wind. The voices spoke of forgotten tales, of ancient spirits that dwelled within the heart of the forest, and of the price one paid for daring to uncover its secrets. They warned of a choice to be made, whether to embrace the forest's enchantment or to flee its grasp. I knew I couldn't resist the allure of the Whispering Woods. With a sense of trepidation and exhilaration, I ventured even deeper into the forest, guided by the mysterious voices that seemed to emanate from the very trees themselves. In the heart of the forest, I discovered a clearing bathed in a soft, otherworldly glow. It was a place of ethereal beauty, where the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural blurred. In the center of the clearing stood a massive, ancient tree, its branches stretching skyward like a cathedral. As I approached the tree, I felt a profound connection, as though I had been drawn to this place by some unseen force. The whispers of the unknown crescendoed, their voices swirling around me like a chorus of spectral beings. In that moment, I made my choice. I reached out and placed my hand upon the ancient tree, feeling a surge of energy pass through me. It was as if the forest itself had accepted me, and in return, I became a part of its eternal enchantment. From that day forward, I remained within the Whispering Woods, forever bound to its mysteries and its secrets. I became a guardian of the forest, protecting its ancient wisdom and safeguarding its enchantment from those who would seek to exploit its power. To this day, the Whispering Woods stands as a testament to the whispers of the unknown, a place where the boundary between the natural and the supernatural is forever blurred. It is a realm of enchantment and wonder, where the ancient trees continue to whisper their secrets to those who dare to listen, and where the mysteries of the forest remain shrouded in the eternal embrace of the unknown. In the heart of the Whispering Woods, I found a sense of belonging and purpose unlike anything I had ever experienced. Each day brought new wonders and revelations, as the forest seemed to open up to me like a tome of ancient knowledge. I became attuned to its rhythms, its moods, and its secrets. One of the most remarkable aspects of the forest was its ability to communicate through whispers, not just in the form of voices, but in the rustling of leaves, the murmurs of the wind, and the patterns of light and shadow. It was as though the very essence of the woods itself was alive, sharing its wisdom with those who were willing to listen. As time passed, I began to understand the symbiotic relationship between the Whispering Woods and its guardian, the one who had chosen to embrace its enchantment. The forest bestowed upon me a heightened awareness of the natural world, a deep connection with the spirits that dwelled within, and the ability to harness the mystical energies that permeated every leaf and stone. The creatures of the forest, once shrouded in mystery, revealed themselves to me as guardians and guides. I forged bonds with spirits of the trees, the streams, and the animals that roamed the woods. They became my companions, my mentors, and my protectors. Yet, the enchantment of the forest was not without its challenges. It demanded a profound respect for the delicate balance of nature and a commitment to preserving the secrets it held. The Whispering Woods had a way of testing the resolve of its guardian, presenting trials and tribulations that pushed the boundaries of what I thought possible. One such trial was a labyrinth of illusions, an intricate maze that twisted and turned, constantly shifting its pathways and deceiving the senses. It was a test of perception and intuition, a challenge to navigate through the forest's ever-changing enigma. As I ventured into the labyrinth, the forest played tricks on my senses. Shadows danced, echoes whispered, and the very ground seemed to sway beneath my feet. It was a disorienting experience that tested my determination to its limits. But through patience and a deep connection with the forest, I found my way through the labyrinth. The moment I emerged, I felt a surge of energy and a profound understanding of the Whispering Woods mysteries. It was a testament to the forest's ability to impart wisdom to those who dared to unravel its secrets. As the years passed, the Whispering Woods and I became inseparable, our fates intertwined in an eternal dance of enchantment and discovery. I continued to protect its ancient wisdom, ensuring that the forest's secrets remained safe from those who sought to exploit its power. To this day, the Whispering Woods stands as a testament to the mystical realms that exist beyond the known, a place where the line between the natural and the supernatural blurs. It is a sanctuary of enchantment and wonder, where the ancient trees continue to whisper their secrets to those who dare to listen, and where the mysteries of the forest are forever embraced by the eternal unknown. Story 9. Perched on the rugged coastline of a remote island, the Blackwood Lighthouse had long stood as a silent sentinel, its towering beacon guiding ships safely through treacherous waters. The lighthouse keeper, an enigmatic figure named Elias Blackwood, had faithfully tended to the light for generations, passing down the duty from father to son. The island, shrouded in mist and legends of shipwrecks and lost souls, was a place of solitude and mystery. It was said that the lighthouse keeper had a secret, one that had been passed down through the Blackwood lineage for centuries, a secret that was said to be the source of the lighthouse's uncanny ability to guide ships safely to shore. I had always been drawn to the tales of the Blackwood Lighthouse, its haunting beauty, and the enigma of Elias Blackwood. With a sense of curiosity and a desire to uncover the truth, I embarked on a journey to the remote island. As I approached the lighthouse, the winds carried a mournful melody, a haunting tune that seemed to echo the island's history of shipwrecks and lost souls. The lighthouse itself stood tall and imposing, its whitewashed walls weathered by centuries of salt and wind. I was greeted by the current lighthouse keeper, an elderly man named Samuel, who had taken up the mantle from his father and his father before him. Samuel's eyes held a deep wisdom, and there was a solemnity about him as he welcomed me into the lighthouse. It was clear from the beginning that Samuel held the key to the lighthouse's secrets, and he was willing to share them with me. As we ascended the winding staircase to the top of the tower, he began to unravel the tale of Elias Blackwood and the lighthouse's mystical powers. Generations ago, Elias had discovered a hidden chamber deep within the lighthouse, a chamber that contained a peculiar crystal, unlike any other. It was said that this crystal held the essence of the sea itself, a source of untold power that had been harnessed by the Blackwood family for centuries. Elias had learned to harness the crystal's energy, using it to manipulate the light and guide ships safely through treacherous waters. But the crystal also had a darker side, for it held the memories and souls of those lost at sea. It was a repository of their anguish and longing, a burden that Elias had borne in silence. As Samuel and I reached the top of the lighthouse, he showed me the chamber where the crystal was kept. It pulsed with an eerie, ethereal glow, its presence both captivating and unsettling. Samuel explained that the crystal had the power to communicate with the lost souls, allowing them to find solace and closure. But with this power came a price. The lighthouse keepers of the Blackwood family had become conduits for the souls trapped within the crystal, their own lives intertwined with the fate of those they guided to safety. The burden of the lost souls had taken its toll on Elias, and he had chosen to keep the truth hidden from his family and the world. As Samuel concluded his tale, he offered me a choice: to take on the mantle of lighthouse keeper and bear the weight of the crystal's secrets, or to leave the island and its mysteries behind. It was a decision that carried a heavy burden, one that I had to make with a heavy heart. In the end, I chose to embrace the legacy of the Blackwood Lighthouse, to become the guardian of its secrets and the keeper of its light. As I stood in the lantern room, gazing out at the endless expanse of the sea, I knew that I had become a part of the island's history, forever bound to the shadows of the past. To this day, the Blackwood Lighthouse stands as a symbol of the enduring connection between the living and the lost, a place where the line between the natural and the supernatural blurs. It is a testament to the sacrifices made by the lighthouse keepers of the Blackwood family, who have borne the weight of the crystal's secrets for generations, guiding ships safely to shore and offering solace to the souls of the SEA.AS. The new lighthouse keeper, I settled into the solitary life on the remote island, embracing the responsibilities and the mysteries that came with my role. The lighthouse itself became my constant companion, its presence looming over the rugged coastline like a silent guardian. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, as I tended to the Blackwood Lighthouse with the same dedication as those who had come before me. I became attuned to the rhythms of the sea, the whispers of the wind, and the ever-changing moods of the crystal within the hidden chamber. It wasn't long before I began to experience the crystal's peculiar powers firsthand. During stormy nights, when ships were in peril and the seas raged with fury, the crystal's glow would intensify, guiding vessels away from treacherous shoals and rocky cliffs. It was as though the lost souls trapped within sought to protect those at sea. But the crystal's connection to the lost souls was not limited to guiding ships. In moments of solitude, I would hear their whispers, faint and distant, as they shared their stories and their longing for closure. It was a haunting and poignant connection that bound me to the souls of the sea. As the years passed, I became more proficient in communicating with the lost souls, offering them solace and understanding. It was a solemn duty, one that weighed heavy on my heart, but it also brought a sense of fulfillment and purpose. One particular night, as I stood in the lantern room, gazing out at the starlit expanse of the sea, I felt a presence unlike any I had encountered before. It was a spirit, ethereal and luminous, who had been lost at sea for centuries. The spirit's presence was overwhelming, its sorrow palpable. As I reached out to the spirit, it began to share its story, a tale of a fateful voyage, a shipwreck, and a love lost to the depths of the ocean. The spirit had lingered in the realm between the living and the dead, unable to find peace. With the crystal's guidance, I offered the spirit a chance for closure, a way to reunite with the love it had lost. Together, we performed a ritual of release, allowing the spirit to move on to the afterlife, where it could finally find the solace it had sought for centuries. As the spirit departed, a profound sense of fulfillment washed over me. I realized that my role as the lighthouse keeper was not just about guiding ships safely to shore, it was also about offering compassion and closure to the lost souls of the sea. The years turned into decades, and I continued my duties as the guardian of the Blackwood Lighthouse, honoring the legacy of Elias Blackwood and the generations of lighthouse keepers who had come before me. The crystal's mysteries remained, as did the connection to the lost souls, a testament to the enduring bond between the living and the supernatural. To this day, the Blackwood Lighthouse stands as a symbol of compassion and solace, a place where the line between the natural and the supernatural blurs. It is a testament to the enduring connection between the living and the lost, and a reminder that even in the most remote and mysterious corners of the world, there is room for compassion and closure for the souls of the sea. Story 9. Perched on the rugged coastline of a remote island, the Blackwood Lighthouse had long stood as a silent sentinel, its towering beacon guiding ships safely through treacherous waters. The lighthouse keeper, an enigmatic figure named Elias Blackwood, had faithfully tended to the light for generations, passing down the duty from father to son. The island, shrouded in mist and legends of shipwrecks and lost souls, was a place of solitude and mystery. It was said that the lighthouse keeper had a secret, one that had been passed down through the Blackwood lineage for centuries, a secret that was said to be the source of the lighthouse's uncanny ability to guide ships safely to shore. I had always been drawn to the tales of the Blackwood Lighthouse, its haunting beauty, and the enigma of Elias Blackwood. With a sense of curiosity and a desire to uncover the truth, I embarked on a journey to the remote island. As I approached the lighthouse, the winds carried a mournful melody, a haunting tune that seemed to echo the island's history of shipwrecks and lost souls. The lighthouse itself stood tall and imposing, its whitewashed walls weathered by centuries of salt and wind. I was greeted by the current lighthouse keeper, an elderly man named Samuel, who had taken up the mantle from his father and his father before him. Samuel's eyes held a deep wisdom, and there was a solemnity about him as he welcomed me into the lighthouse. It was clear from the beginning that Samuel held the key to the lighthouse's secrets, and he was willing to share them with me. As we ascended the winding staircase to the top of the tower, he began to unravel the tale of Elias Blackwood and the lighthouse's mystical powers. Generations ago, Elias had discovered a hidden chamber deep within the lighthouse, a chamber that contained a peculiar crystal, unlike any other. It was said that this crystal held the essence of the sea itself, a source of untold power that had been harnessed by the Blackwood family for centuries. Elias had learned to harness the crystal's energy, using it to manipulate the light and guide ships safely through treacherous waters. But the crystal also had a darker side, for it held the memories and souls of those lost at sea. It was a repository of their anguish and longing, a burden that Elias had borne in silence. As Samuel and I reached the top of the lighthouse, he showed me the chamber where the crystal was kept. It pulsed with an eerie, ethereal glow, its presence both captivating and unsettling. Samuel explained that the crystal had the power to communicate with the lost souls, allowing them to find solace and closure. But with this power came a price. The lighthouse keepers of the Blackwood family had become conduits for the souls trapped within the crystal, their own lives intertwined with the fate of those they guided to safety. The burden of the lost souls had taken its toll on Elias, and he had chosen to keep the truth hidden from his family and the world. As Samuel concluded his tale, he offered me a choice: to take on the mantle of lighthouse keeper and bear the weight of the crystal's secrets, or to leave the island and its mysteries behind. It was a decision that carried a heavy burden, one that I had to make with a heavy heart. In the end, I chose to embrace the legacy of the Blackwood Lighthouse, to become the guardian of its secrets and the keeper of its light. As I stood in the lantern room, gazing out at the endless expanse of the sea, I knew that I had become a part of the island's history, forever bound to the shadows of the past. To this day, the Blackwood Lighthouse stands as a symbol of the enduring connection between the living and the lost, a place where the line between the natural and the supernatural blurs. It is a testament to the sacrifices made by the lighthouse keepers of the Blackwood family, who have borne the weight of the crystal's secrets for generations, guiding ships safely to shore and offering solace to the souls of the SEA.AS. The new lighthouse keeper, I settled into the solitary life on the remote island, embracing the responsibilities and the mysteries that came with my role. The lighthouse itself became my constant companion, its presence looming over the rugged coastline like a silent guardian. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, as I tended to the Blackwood Lighthouse with the same dedication as those who had come before me. I became attuned to the rhythms of the sea, the whispers of the wind, and the ever-changing moods of the crystal within the hidden chamber. It wasn't long before I began to experience the crystal's peculiar powers firsthand. During stormy nights, when ships were in peril and the seas raged with fury, the crystal's glow would intensify, guiding vessels away from treacherous shoals and rocky cliffs. It was as though the lost souls trapped within sought to protect those at sea. But the crystal's connection to the lost souls was not limited to guiding ships. In moments of solitude, I would hear their whispers, faint and distant, as they shared their stories and their longing for closure. It was a haunting and poignant connection that bound me to the souls of the sea. As the years passed, I became more proficient in communicating with the lost souls, offering them solace and understanding. It was a solemn duty, one that weighed heavy on my heart, but it also brought a sense of fulfillment and purpose. One particular night, as I stood in the lantern room, gazing out at the starlit expanse of the sea, I felt a presence unlike any I had encountered before. It was a spirit, ethereal and luminous, who had been lost at sea for centuries. The spirit's presence was overwhelming, its sorrow palpable. As I reached out to the spirit, it began to share its story, a tale of a fateful voyage, a shipwreck, and a love lost to the depths of the ocean. The spirit had lingered in the realm between the living and the dead, unable to find peace. With the crystal's guidance, I offered the spirit a chance for closure, a way to reunite with the love it had lost. Together, we performed a ritual of release, allowing the spirit to move on to the afterlife, where it could finally find the solace it had sought for centuries. As the spirit departed, a profound sense of fulfillment washed over me. I realized that my role as the lighthouse keeper was not just about guiding ships safely to shore, it was also about offering compassion and closure to the lost souls of the sea. The years turned into decades, and I continued my duties as the guardian of the Blackwood Lighthouse, honoring the legacy of Elias Blackwood and the generations of lighthouse keepers who had come before me. The crystal's mysteries remained, as did the connection to the lost souls, a testament to the enduring bond between the living and the supernatural. To this day, the Blackwood Lighthouse stands as a symbol of compassion and solace, a place where the line between the natural and the supernatural blurs. It is a testament to the enduring connection between the living and the lost, and a reminder that even in the most remote and mysterious corners of the world, there is room for compassion and closure for the souls of the sea. Story 10. In the heart of a quiet, forgotten town, there stood an abandoned carnival, a place frozen in time, its once vibrant rides and attractions now shrouded in decay and darkness. It was a relic of a bygone era, a testament to the laughter and joy that had once filled its grounds. I had always been fascinated by tales of abandoned places and the mysteries they held. The abandoned carnival, with its faded colors and eerie stillness, had long beckoned to me like a siren's call. With a sense of both excitement and trepidation, I embarked on a journey to explore its forgotten wonders. As I entered the carnival grounds, a sense of desolation washed over me. The rides creaked in the breeze, and the faded banners and signs bore witness to the passage of time. The laughter and cheers of long-gone visitors seemed to echo faintly in the air, a ghostly reminder of the carnival's former glory. The first attraction I encountered was an old, rusted Ferris wheel, its cabins hanging precariously from their skeletal frame. It was a stark contrast to the vibrant ride it had once been, a relic of joy now transformed into a haunting symbol of abandonment. As I ventured deeper into the carnival, I came across a dilapidated carousel, its ornate horses frozen in mid-gallop. The calliope organ, once a source of whimsical melodies, now emitted discordant and eerie tunes. It was as though the very spirit of the carnival had become twisted and forlorn. One by one, I explored the forgotten rides and attractions, the decrepit funhouse with its distorting mirrors, the eerie wax museum with its lifelike but lifeless figures, and the desolate ticket booth with its faded tickets and forgotten tokens. Each step deeper into the carnival revealed more of its unsettling secrets. But it was the clown tent that held the most chilling mystery. Inside, I found a collection of clown costumes, each one more unsettling than the last. The clown faces, frozen in eternal grins, seemed to mock the laughter that had once filled the tent. It was as though the carnival had become a mausoleum for laughter, a place where joy had withered and died. As night descended upon the abandoned carnival, I felt a presence that sent shivers down my spine. It was the unmistakable sensation of being watched, of unseen eyes following my every move. The laughter that had echoed faintly in the air earlier had now turned into mocking whispers that seemed to taunt me. With a sense of foreboding, I made my way to the center of the carnival grounds, where a crumbling stage stood in eerie silence. It was there that I encountered a figure, a clown dressed in tattered and faded ruffles, its face hidden beneath a grotesque mask. The clown's presence exuded an otherworldly energy, and as it began to move, its laughter echoed with an unnatural and malevolent tone. It danced and capered in a macabre display, its movements defying the laws of nature. I knew then that I had stumbled upon something far more sinister than I had ever imagined, an entity that had taken residence within the abandoned carnival, a malevolent spirit that fed on the echoes of lost laughter. With a sense of urgency, I fled the carnival grounds, leaving behind the haunting laughter and the malevolent clown. As I looked back one last time, I couldn't help but wonder what other secrets the forgotten carnival held, and what had become of the joy and laughter that had once filled its air. To this day, the abandoned carnival stands as a chilling reminder of the echoes of lost laughter, a place where the line between the natural and the supernatural blurs. It is a testament to the eerie allure of forgotten places and the mysteries that lie hidden within their decaying walls, waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to explore the shadows of the past. And my encounter with the malevolent clown at the abandoned carnival haunted my dreams for weeks. The twisted figure, with its grotesque mask and eerie laughter, seemed to have left an indelible mark on my psyche. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the carnival's dark history than I had initially uncovered. Driven by both fear and curiosity, I embarked on a quest to unravel the mysteries of the forgotten carnival and confront the malevolent presence that dwelled within. I began researching the history of the town, hoping to find clues about the origins of the carnival and the identity of the sinister clown. As I delved into old newspaper archives and interviewed local residents, a chilling narrative emerged. It seemed that the carnival had been a place of joy and celebration in the town many decades ago, drawing visitors from far and wide. Families had flocked to the carnival grounds, eager to experience its rides, games, and the laughter of clowns. However, the carnival had fallen into decline as the years passed. Economic hardships and changing tastes had taken their toll, and the once thriving attraction had become a mere shadow of its former self. The laughter that had once filled the air had gradually faded, replaced by an eerie silence. It was during this time that the malevolent clown, known as the Jester of Despair according to local legends, had made its presence known. The townsfolk spoke of strange occurrences, unexplained disappearances, eerie laughter in the dead of night, and sightings of the malevolent clown lurking in the shadows. The stories grew darker with each passing year, and the townspeople began to believe that the carnival had become cursed, that the malevolent clown was a vengeful spirit seeking to reclaim the joy that had been lost. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I returned to the abandoned carnival with a sense of determination. As I entered the tent where I had encountered the malevolent clown, I could feel its presence once again, a malevolent energy that seemed to pulse in the air. But this time, I was prepared. I had brought with me an ancient amulet, said to have the power to banish malevolent spirits. As I confronted the malevolent clown, I held the amulet aloft and recited incantations passed down through generations. The malevolent clown writhed and contorted, its laughter turning into agonized screams as the amulet's power took hold. With one final burst of eerie laughter, the clown dissipated into a cloud of dark mist, leaving behind only the fading echoes of its torment. As the mist dissipated, the carnival grounds seemed to come to life once more, the air filled with the laughter and joy that had been absent for so long. The rides creaked back to life, the games sprung to action, and the faded banners and signs regained their vibrancy. It was as though the malevolent presence that had plagued the carnival for years had finally been vanquished, and the spirits of joy and laughter had been set free. I left the carnival that day, knowing that I had played a role in restoring its lost spirit. The echoes of lost laughter would no longer haunt its grounds, and the town's dark history would become a tale of redemption rather than terror. To this day, the abandoned carnival stands as a testament to the enduring power of courage and determination, a place where the line between the natural and the supernatural was crossed and ultimately conquered. It is a reminder that even in the darkest of places, the light of hope and resilience can shine through, dispelling the shadows of the past and bringing forth the echoes of lost laughter once more.